Our next guest is a terribly funny woman who has her own special premiering on Showtime, a cable operation tomorrow evening. It's called Party of One. Folks, please say hello once again to comedian Elayne Boosler.
Is this the windiest day you've ever seen in New York City? Unbelievable. You step into the street, it hits you from the side. The whole city's walking around looking like Ann Landers out there. This is a hard day to wear contact lenses. Very painful. I just switched from hard to soft lenses. I actually like hard lenses better. I think hard contact lenses make you the calmest person in the world. Because when the first thing you do in the morning is wake up and put a piece of glass in your eye, what's going to bother you for the rest of the day? Hey, your house burned down. I got glass in my eye, man. Now I have these soft lenses. They cost me $100. Spend about $1,500 a month on saline solution now. I think the ocean has gone down an inch since I got these lenses, boy. I had a birthday since I was here last. I'm still in my 20s. I'm 2014 now. Hurts less when you think of it that way. When do you stop being and a half? That one dies young, doesn't it? Can't walk around saying, oh, yeah, I work for IBM, I'm 33 and a half. Gonna be this many soon. No. I like to read statistics about my age. Now, Newsweek magazine said a woman over 30 with 2 years of college has very little chance of getting married. And People magazine put it into better perspective. They said a woman over 30 with 2 years of college has a better chance of being killed by terrorists than she does of getting married. I thought, well, some of them guys are cute. Gonna pull that pin before we have dinner, handsome? I don't think so. Still no kids. I don't think I'll ever have them. The longer I wait, the more ways they come up with to have kids, though. All these natural childbirth methods now, Lamaze and Le Boyer, they all have one thing in common. They're all still long and painful. It doesn't seem to be better. If I was gonna have a kid, I'd want it to be quick. I'd have Heimlich. Ooh, honey, I think it's time. Boom. All right, let's finish that chicken now. Did you see on 60 Minutes, people are giving birth underwater now? Yeah, they say it's less traumatic for the baby because it's in water than it comes out into water. I guess it probably would be less traumatic for the baby, but certainly more traumatic for the other people in the pool. Ew, I don't think they're using enough chlorine in this place. I'm real happy I have this Showtime special tomorrow night. I waited years to get a cable special. Every guy I started out with has 9 specials on, and I didn't have a show, and I went to someone in TV. I said, how come I can't have a special? And he said, oh, you know, you do that Playboy material and you touch your breast, and we don't think that's appropriate for television. I felt awful. Went home and I watched Robin Williams' cable special and Eddie Murphy's cable special. I said, oh, no wonder I can't get a show. I've been holding the wrong thing. So the show's called Party of One in honor of 10 years on the road, eating out in restaurants alone. Hostesses are loud, aren't they? Just one? No, 50. They're parking. I'll go check. They can't say one without the just in front of it. It has to be just one, like you failed already. Just one tonight? Oh, no, I've been a loser all of my life. Just one for dinner? No, there was one for lunch and one for breakfast, too, today. Party of one is the silliest thing to say. Party of one? Think I should have sent those invites out a little sooner, do you? You have a table facing a mirror so I don't have to eat alone here? Next time they say party of one, live up to it. Party of one? Yeah, you should have seen me New Year's! You sit down, you think you're safe, it's not over. The busboy starts the whole thing all over again. One, man takes everything off the table. Knives, forks, spoons. Hey, get a buzzsaw, cut this table in half, I insist. You have the chef bake up a couple of tumbleweeds and blow them across every 5 minutes? I mean, the humiliation never ends. Who's having the veal? I guess it's me. If I ever got money, I'd open a restaurant for single people, and I'd make them comfortable. You walk in, nice, long row of sinks. No tables and chairs. Everybody eats standing over the sink. All the food comes in the package so you can read the back while you're eating. Thank you.
Yeah, so your big cable show is on tomorrow night. You don't even know what time. You don't know what time, do you?
I'm sure.
You know what time.
No,
what time?
I really don't. It's about time.
Yeah, well, it is about time.
I know. Thanks for being on it.
Well, it was fun to be on.
Fleeting glimpses.
Yeah. And when people tune it in, what are they going to see? You doing much of your stand-up act?
It's exactly that, 5 minutes over and over and over again until an hour passes. I mean, when I say you're on it, I don't want people to think that you're on it. The billing is fleeting glimpses of, and we're so generous, I mean, with your time to do that.
Well, now you completely ruined the surprise, what there was to it anyway.
No, I was going to kind of tell him what you did, which was so funny to me. It was that's at the end of the show.
Anyway, it'll be on tomorrow night. She's not certain what time, but it'll be on tomorrow night.
What time tomorrow?
Elayne, nice to see you.
Oh,
Thanks for being here. You going on the road somewhere soon?
Not if the show does well, I hope.
Is everything all right in the control room? Is everybody all right? Hal, is your nerve medicine in there? Good. My thanks to Ava Gabor, John Cleese, Elayne Boosler, and everybody else. Tomorrow, Janet Brennan, and former singer with the Rascals, Felix Cavaliera, and from Saturday Night Live, Dennis Miller. Okay, Hal, go nuts with those buttons now. Okay. Our next guest is a very funny woman who can be currently seen on a Cinemax comedy experiment, which she also wrote and directed. It's entitled Comedy From Here. Folks, please welcome Elayne Boosler.
Thanks. Happy holidays. I'm Jewish. We're not allowed to have a Christmas tree, but we are allowed to dress up like one. So. I think the Christian religion's very nice. You know, you have Christmas and church and everything. All we have is Pac-Man. Oh, really? I think Pac-Man is the history of the Jewish people being chased while eating. It's great eating with your folks, isn't it? My mother would say wonderful things. Eat this. I'm just going to throw it out. Oh, good. You have any more garbage for dessert later when we're done? I think this is a nice time of year to look back and see what kind of year it was. I think New York had a great year in sports. Whoa. The Mets played amazing, I thought. The only thing I really didn't like about the series were the commentators. I thought they were really rude to the New York players, you know, especially Dykstra. Every time this guy came up to bat, he's in front of the whole world like this, and he can't hear them going, here's that little weasel again. What is he, 4'11", if that? Good thing he beat his drinking problem. Let the guy hit, for crying out loud. I thought Boston played great. There was a wonderful interview. Yeah, well, it's true. Jim Rice had a great interview. They were talking to him. They said, what's your philosophy of baseball? He said, I see the ball, I hit it. And then he had my favorite line. He said, when you have reflexes, you don't need philosophy. I thought, whoa, does this mean Plato couldn't bunt? I don't like football. I've tried to get into it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've had it explained to me. I wanted to do a movie, How Women See Football. Put 20 football players in a circle, yell go, they all run to each other, knock in their heads, fall down, and say the end. That's it, you know. Oh. Well, that's how I see it. And I guess I'm the only one. Oh, I don't want your pity. Keep it. It was a good year for the diet industry in this country. People spent $10 billion a year on diet aids in America. And the biggest breakthrough was the gastric bubble. Did you see this thing on 60 Minutes? They blow up a balloon, they put it in your stomach, you eat a little bit, you get full, you stop eating, you lose weight. I think they should have the brain bubble for people who don't like to study. Just put it in a college student's head, read 2 pages. Whoa, I can't absorb any more tonight. Oh. People are still concerned about food, losing weight. I feel that there is no truth in advertising where food is concerned in this country. You ever read the side of a pint of Haagen-Dazs? Know what it says? Serves 4. They have nutrition. nutritional information on candy now? I know when I'm shoveling down M&Ms at 4 a.m., I want to know that zinc's getting in there too, boy. I think one of the most disappointing things in the world is when you're eating something wonderful and you think there's one more and there isn't, you know? M&M's is the hardest one to deal with. It's like, anyway, so I was telling him, what? That's it? Oh, I would have sucked that one. Interesting year for me. My car insurance went up this year. I was kind of surprised because I'm over 30, never had an accident or a ticket, thought it would go down. Called the insurance company. I said, why'd my insurance go up? They said, because you're single and over 30. I said, single? You think I have nothing to live for? There's a cliff. What the hell? I'm a higher risk because I'm single. Like if I see a bachelor in a residential neighborhood, I'm going to floor it. Out of the way, lady. He looks good. I think the biggest blunder of the year will probably turn out to be Reagan's Iranian arms deal. Whoa! Think like he woke up in the middle of the night, wanted to go shopping, nothing was open. Thinking Iran's 12 hours ahead, their store's open there. You want to buy some stuff here? I think we need younger people in office. I really think when a man's first priority is no longer sex, he just becomes too dangerous, you know? It's true because sex is very hopeful and life-affirming and going towards the future, you know? You get these feeling these guys are sitting in Washington going, hey, I'm not getting any. I think I'll blow up the whole damn planet. I think there should be like a young guy with a Corvette and a good haircut in office, you know? Because nobody's going to drop a bomb on Wednesday if there's even a little chance of having sex on Friday. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year.
Elayne is with us. Nice job, Elayne.
Oh, thanks. I'd really like to do that football joke again and
nothing wrong with that
my joke. Career.
Oh, it was very nice. How's your dog?
Oh, my dog. He's fine. I had him here the last.
Yeah, cute little Petey. Little boxer, is he?
Yeah, he's a big boxer now. He ate a hassock the other night. And,
yeah.
It's amazing. When I named him Petey, I did it because the little rascals had Petey, and
that was the dog with the
the circle. And I just thought the way they said Petey was so cute. They go Petey, Petey. I thought it's so cute. So I name him Petey, and you have to say it like that. And the dog kind of responds. You know, you go Petey, dog goes. Like that. I'll be walking him down the street. There's normal-looking people in nice clothes. What's his name? Petey. People go, Petey. Dog goes, Felt like 10 years of this, I'll put a bullet in my head, right? But I couldn't get out of it. I'd always go, Petey. And he'd make me say it sometimes. He'd come up and go, all right, Petey. So I'm walking on the beach in Santa Monica, and Carl Weathers is coming up the other way, the guy who played Apollo Creed in Rocky.
Yeah.
What a gorgeous guy. Walking up the street, and he sees the dog, and he said, that's a handsome dog. I said, thank you. He said, what's his name? I said, Petey. The dog went, Carl Weathers, he's so macho, he didn't get caught. He's the only one who didn't have to do it. He said, hello, Petey. Dog went, he like went through puberty right there, you know? It's great.
Now, what happened yesterday to the dog? Is this true about the tranquilizers?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's strange.
I know, it's really weird.
What happened?
Well, I got tranquilizers to fly him here, and you're supposed to give him 1 cross-country, 1 back, and they gave me 10 in the packet. And, you know, puppies jump up and eat everything. He jumped up, he got all 10 pills when I was out of the house, and I came down. He was, like, walking and singing, looked like Timothy Leary in my living room, you know.
Did you get him to the vet and pump his stomach?
Well, I called up. His back legs were crossed. I couldn't get him out of the circle.
Back legs were crossed?
Yeah. He just was going in a circle, and his eyes were hanging down. I said, Petey, just say no. Just say no.
But is he all right?
He's fine.
We gotta do a commercial. Oh, we'll be right back. Okay, we're out of time. When is the special on? Showtime?
No, it's Cinemax.
Cinemax,
yeah.
There you go.
All through December.
All through December.
In fact, tonight after
Comedy
the show
from here.
on.
Tonight after. Okay, a very funny show. Have a nice Christmas Eve and Christmas, and also a nice late. Okay, our next guest is a good friend of ours, a talented comedian, and she can be seen in concert now on April 2nd at the Luther Burbank Center in Santa Rosa, California, and then on April 3rd at the Herbst Theater in San Francisco. She is also the only comedian I know doing deodorant commercials. There she is right there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elayne Boosler.
Yeah, I did a deodorant commercial. I think it was some of my finest work. And I did it because, you know, it's a good product, and I also thought nobody would see it. So everybody has seen this commercial. I went to play a club in Dallas, Texas, and all these young women, thank you, showed up with cans of deodorant for me to sign. I was so humiliated, you know. I thought, oh, calm down, could always be worse. You could have done a Summer's Eve commercial. Anyway, it's nice weather out there, isn't it? And yeah, it's beautiful. I got to wear a leather coat. It's leather coat weather. I was going to get a fur coat, but I mentioned it to some friends, and they said, oh, that's disgusting. You can't kill an animal for the fur. Get a leather coat. Well, no, apparently it is more humane to just shave the animal and turn it inside out. Could have used a fur coat last week. I went skiing in Salt Lake City. I went skiing in Utah. It was wonderful. It's beautiful there. It's the most just loveliest place on earth, and the politest people. All Mormon ski teachers carry those skis for you. Tuck that bone back in your leg. No problem. I didn't enjoy myself that well. I took a lesson on the bunny hill. It was me and 10 5-year-olds. Little kids really get on your nerves, too, all day long saying the same thing. Don't cry, Miss Boosler. It was bulky and uncomfortable. Ski boots have to be the worst thing ever, you know? I mean, you feel like you've been hit by the gang, so you put these things on your feet or in cement for the day, boy. The only really great thing about ski boots is that if you want to use a public restroom and you don't want to touch the seat, there is no way you will ever tilt back and reach it. These are like the perfect suspension device, boy. They should have these in all public restrooms. Well, the weekend's coming. I'm still single. I feel gypped. I thought these would be my wild years, you know. Forget about it. I thought these would be the years the book was going to be written about. But everyone's concerned about their health. Nobody's coming out. Women used to look for cool, handsome guys who looked like they knew what they were doing. You know what we're looking for now? Like a file clerk who looks like he hasn't had sex in 15 years. For like a bald guy that looks like he reads all the time. What? You've never been with a woman? How you doing, handsome? Saw a nice special the other night on safe sex. Safe sex, this is a new concept for me. I always thought safe sex meant that your parents didn't find out. It was a real good special. It said that you should not be shy. If you're going to make love, ask your date to use a condom. Shy? Next time I make love, I might say, would you mind wearing a plutonium suit for this again? Maybe we should just use jumper cables. I think it's terrible that, you know, networks won't advertise condoms because of pressure from religious groups. Don't you think it would be great if you found out you could only get AIDS by giving money to television preachers? There's one condom ad on the air, and it's not a good ad. You know why? It's the wrong approach. They have a woman look into the camera, and she says, it's not worth dying for. Well, it's just not the right approach, because you know when you're in it, it kind of is worth dying for. They want to sell these things. They should be more positive. They should say something like, use these, you'll live to do this for years. The Vatican came down with a pretty tough ruling the other day. They said that the only way that you are allowed to have a baby now is if a man and a woman have sex. That's it. No surrogate mothers, nothing artificial planted, nothing coming in from the outside, nothing strange, nothing bizarre. Ooh, it's a good thing that I make this rule before Jesus was born. Thanks a lot. See you next time.
Very much, Jimmy. Nice job.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again. How's your dog?
Nice to see you. My dog's fine. He's dating the couch.
What kind of dog we got
He's
here?
a boxer, and I think they originally were from China.
Really?
No, actually, Egypt is where they're from. I thought it was China, but it's Egypt.
Okay.
China wouldn't work at all if I said that to teach him to play dead. You'd have to wrap him in bandages for an hour, right? It has to be Egypt.
Yeah, it probably was Egypt then.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
He's okay. He's eaten everything we own. He's a walking pinata now. It's over.
Ooh, bad news for the dog.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be two places in April, San
That's right.
Francisco and
Santa Rosa.
And Santa Rosa.
I'll
Nice
be there.
place. Have a good weekend, folks. We're out of time. Thank you very much for everything. We'll see you on Monday. Good night, folks. Bye-bye. Paul. Our next guest is a very funny woman, and this Friday night she will be making her Broadway debut in a one-woman show at the Ritz Theater called Elayne Boosler, Broadway Baby. Folks, please say hello to Elayne Boosler. Elayne.
Broadway Baby.
Hi. How you doing? So terribly nice to see you. Please have a seat. Tell me about the show. How's it going?
Oh, it's going real good. You know, we're filming in Manhattan at night on 8th Avenue in front of very seedy places. It's kind of a little girl's dream of what Broadway would be. So we're filming in front of the Kit Kat Club. Are you familiar with Channel J in New York?
Oh, yeah, I know about Channel J.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I do know about it.
Yeah, it's the porno channel, kind of. I'm sure you probably just heard about it, but... You know, you can't...
But no, I've seen it, and it does represent some of the lowest behavior by humans on the face of the earth. Oh, yeah.
And the Kit Kat Club is one of their sponsors, and they have an ad, which I love. They have, you know, girls dancing and the 60s song, and the voiceover says, "Come to the Kit Kat Club. Enjoy a name-brand drink from our well-stocked liquor bar." And there's a doorman out there, you know, he kind of, you know, he doesn't focus in the same direction. "Come to the Kit Kat Club." So we're filming in front of the Kit Kat Club, and I'm... you know, tripping up the street singing this big musical number, Broadway Baby, and these guys are coming out of the Kit Kat Club, and you're on the street, you have to sing this song, and they're coming out, and last night I hear, "You ain't nothing! You ain't nothing!" I thought, I'm just trying to make a living, you know.
What kind of clientele do we have there at the Kit Kat Club?
Oh, probably a lot of stockbrokers. I don't know.
But then Channel J, I think, is the one where they have America's only nude talk show. And the host of the show
is quite chunky.
He's a fat guy.
He sure is.
And every week you get to see this blimp naked.
But the good thing is now most women get hungry at night. This is the best way to keep your diet, you know?
Oh, brother. It's awful.
You watch TV with this nude man.
It's like looking at open heart surgery or something. It's just like, what's going on here?
The cholesterol, that's right. Yeah. He's not, and he tries to, you know, make out with the women on the show.
I know. And they're pretending
to like him.
Well, they're pretending they're not nude.
Well, I don't think
it's like the guy is just sitting there big, fat, and naked, and it's...
But wouldn't... If you were sitting next to a big, fat, naked person, wouldn't you try and pretend they weren't
Yes,
nude?
I would. But I mean... But don't you think that this to me and others, this is one of the signs of the apocalypse, don't you think?
Really?
A naked talk show? Wouldn't that be it?
Not if they were good looking. I think it would be progress, frankly.
A fat guy.
He is a fat guy. Now, that doesn't bother me as much as that he doesn't prepare good questions for
Oh,
you know,
well.
If he did his homework, he could wear anything he wants. A free country, but you know the guy has to sing.
Let's talk about now. How about your social life? Do you have? I know you're very busy here. Do you have any time for that kind of thing?
I don't mind not having a huge social life at this point. You know, reading the papers, you kind of wish that science would catch up to the health craze. But I keep reading in the. You know what I read now that you're not just sleeping with the person you're sleeping with. You are sleeping with every person this person has ever slept with.
Is that the deal?
Yeah, I better put more towels in the bathroom, huh? That's the deal. So when you think of it, this means like I'm sleeping with one man and 50 women, so now I'm gay through no fault of my own. But yeah, I think the good thing is, although I'm reading a lot about casual sex, which I love the phrase, don't you?
Casual sex?
Yeah. Doesn't casual sex make it sound like you're having sex in an armchair with golf shoes on, reading the Post or something? Yeah, go ahead. You know, the Kit Kat Club. A name brand drink from a well-stocked liquor bar. So I don't mind. You know, I think the good thing is that you do see condoms, you know, in stores.
Excuse me, 1 minute, Elayne.
Oh, sure.
Hal, I say we go back to the airport. Here's what we'll do. We'll go out over the Atlantic, we'll dump our fuel, feather number 3, and we'll go in for an emergency landing, all right?
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's back on now, Hal. Thank you.
It was so romantic. I was going to go into my nightclub material.
Where the heck were we?
Oh, I was just talking about seeing condoms and eggs and sausage, you know.
Anyway.
You know, Dave.
Now this is like the nude talk show.
Could you read to me anything?
Yeah.
So condoms. Boy, I'm in the right shape for this, huh? Oh,
thank you very much, Bill. Very
Gene
nice.
Dixon did tell me I was the one, so this could be it. Condoms.
Condoms,
Boy,
sure.
we beat that to death, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
We don't do puns. That was your fault. I don't know. I just think it's good that they're getting into the public consciousness and not being something to be afraid of. But I think they should make them funny because people... I think they should say baby on board. Put that annoying sign where it belongs. Actually, the thing that I think is funny is the names of these things. You see them now because they've moved them up to the register. They used to be behind the druggist's head, right? He would run interference. You could get a rifle scope, try and pick them out. Now they're where the what? Impulse items live.
Oh, is that what they call them? Impulse items.
Impulse, is that it? Yeah, then no! So they're with the impulse items, which, by the way, what are impulse items now? You have gum, People magazine, condoms, keychains. You have to arrange your life like this.
That's right.
Okay, I'll offer a piece of gum, we'll talk about nothing, we'll have sex, I'll go home. Yeah, I could live like this. So you stand there, you read the packages, and they're pretty funny. I saw a package of condoms that said reservoir. I said, you mean these things can actually generate hydroelectric power? I'm not going to read it. But the thing I like are the names. What are they called? They're like Trojans, Ramses, Pharaohs. What are you going to do? You're going to make love or you're going to conquer Egypt? What are these things? They should call them when everybody calls them. Do you have any of those, can you wait a minute condoms? Just a sec.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. The Kit Kat Club.
How's your dog?
My dog's fine.
Yeah.
Remember him? Real cute. I got a cute, cuddly, adorable little pit bull. And,
Now, are the pit bulls, are they just going crazy and attacking people at random?
You know, I think they get them very nuts by making them watch that fat guy on the new talk show. I was at a nightclub. I'm working out at STANDUP New York just to get the Broadway show ready. It's a nice little club. And so I said, well, you know, anyone here have a pit bull? And the guy was very defensive in the audience. He said, I have a pit bull. The dog's fine. He plays with my 4-year-old daughter. No problem. I said, you don't get the feeling the dog's just waiting?
But are these unprovoked attacks? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think that mailman probably said something real snide to that dog who pulled his legs up. Like, nothing for you again.
Well, that'd do it.
That'd do it. Dogs want mail, too, you know.
Let's see. This Broadway Baby, Elayne Boosler, Broadway Baby. When will we be looking at this?
Well, this is a big comedy concert this Friday night at the Ritz Theater live, and then it's on Showtime in October.
Oh, great. I hope it's
Thanks
very
so much.
successful for you. Nice to see you,
Had a great
Elayne.
time. Thanks.
Take care. Well, I'll be back with Sandy Terra. Our next guest is certainly a very funny woman. She has a one-woman special entitled Broadway Baby, which can be seen all this month on Showtime. Folks, please say hello to the talented, the lovely, the warm, the tender Elayne Boosler. Elayne. So terribly nice to see you.
Oh, thank you.
What do you mean?
The lizard. I killed the lizard.
What do you mean, what is this face? This is the face that I was born with. No, that's me. That's my face. Now, you know, Elayne, I couldn't help but notice a shift in the lineup. You were supposed to be out here where Mr. Graham was.
I know.
And he was supposed to be out here now.
I know. I know.
So what happened exactly?
I have a problem. I'm petrified of birds. And
me too.
Look, I'm still shaking.
Yeah.
You are?
Well, you know, because they fly right at you and claw your eyes out.
And they talk about you behind your back?
So we had a couple of birds loose here.
That's right.
And you were, what's your worst fear concerning birds?
I don't know. Maybe that they'll review the show. I don't know. I was in the limo. I was gone. I was out.
Yeah.
I mean, Biff is so cute because I have 5 years I know him, and so we talk back and forth. And we'd kid each other, and I said, well, I'm not going out there. He said, oh, Elayne. I said, no, I'm not going out there.
Yeah.
So I think he finally took it seriously.
Yeah.
So.
As a kid, did you have trouble with birds? I mean, was there ever an episode?
It was, you know, it was the prom. I was all dressed up. The bird didn't show. It was heartbreaking.
But I mean, you're not exactly Tippi Hedren, so...
No, you know, that didn't bother me because
Yeah.
it was fake. It's a real, and it's hard in New York. I mean, you know, they're all over the place. And what does Woody Allen call them? Rats with wings.
Yeah.
And I agree. And, you know, I was working in Hawaii, and they would dive bomb your food. I lost about 15 pounds in a week there. I would leave cafes just to get away. And on a beach, I keep moving the blanket, and then they walk a little closer. Ooh, they know what they're doing, you know.
This may be an unreasonable fear.
It's a totally unreasonable fear.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I could understand it if you went camping with your family.
I should lie down for this. Look, I know it's an unreasonable fear.
And there was like
in my whole life,
a condor swoops out of a tree and picks you up and flies off with you, and then bashes
well, now that's romantic. I like that.
Anyway, we're glad you're out here now.
Thanks.
And you've been working on your TV show?
I've been working on my TV show.
Yeah.
You know, this guy, Jack, from the zoo, I mean, what a compassionate man to work with animals.
Oh,
I'm back
sure,
there
he's the
shaking, and he comes in, they're just birds. I said, get away from me. Get away from me. They're not going to do it. What? Get out of here. God, I'd hate to have a broken wing and have to go to this guy for help.
Well, no, he's...
Walk it off. Gee, Jack, can't you put a splint on it?
He's the director of the zoo.
Yeah, what a guy. And he said he went hunting. He went hunting, he said.
Jack goes hunting?
He said, you said something about the donkey. He said he's used to loud noises. I take him hunting.
Oh, I think that was a joke.
He kills buffalo, and the zebra retrieves the buffalo.
One of those retriever donkeys. Part water spaniel.
That's it, yeah.
He takes the donkey out in a boat, brings down a couple of birds. The donkey gets in the water, swims out.
It's overkill, but you know.
Well, let's talk about your
No,
special.
I want to dwell on this.
Fine, whatever you want to do.
The special's fine. It was a highlight of my life because I got
to be on Broadway.
Got to be on. Well, that wasn't the highlight part. The highlight part was firing my mother, which.
Oh, your mom is in the show?
No, she wasn't. She didn't make it into the show.
You actually fired your mom?
Yeah, what a delight. You wait your whole life for a moment like this, you know. We're looking for younger women. We're going to have to let you go.
And what, mom was hired to play your mom, right?
Yeah, but, you know, she just couldn't really get her teeth into the role. She, I think it was too close to her, maybe. I fired her, and she said, why am I fired? I said, well, you keep messing up all your lines. And she said, well, the other actors are messing up their lines. And I said, if the other actors jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge?
So you 86 mom.
There's a huge roach. I'm getting out of here.
No, that's not a roach. It's a cricket. Just relax.
I'm from the city. I don't know the difference.
Crickets, by the way, bring you good luck.
Yeah, if you get away from them, I think.
No.
This is like crawling. The studio's crawling.
I know. I'm sorry.
Where did the cricket come from?
But no, I don't think in recorded history a cricket has ever killed a man. Just relax.
I think on 77 Sunset Strip, but...
Oh, yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah.
Kooky found one in his hair.
You know, New York,
Anyway...
I like the city, but I ate a roach in a restaurant last week.
You ate?
This is the truth. I'm in a Chinese restaurant, and the meal's fine, and I drink the last sip of tea, and I said, ooh, tea leaves, and I spit it out, and it is like our friend Mr. Legs going...
Is that right?
This is the truth.
Wow.
And you know what they say? Oh, it's not Oz. Oh, yeah, right. Not yours, yeah. Oh, yeah, you see the brand on his tush. It's from the Lazy O Ranch, this roach.
See, I don't even know how to tell you this, but look what the man's doing.
We're out of time.
We're out of time.
So I'll just say, watch my special on Showtime.
All right, well, but come back another time.
I'd love to come back another
well, we'd love
time.
to have
There's
you.
no birds here.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, please accept my apologies for this.
I will. It's fine.
But really, you could have had more time if you'd come out earlier.
So nature conspired against me tonight.
Well, we'll be right. We done? All right, so come back and we'll have you out earlier.
Okay.
And there'll be no birds,
Okay,
and good
I'll
to
be
see
back.
you. It's called Broadway Babies on Broadway Baby on Showtime.
Right.
My thanks to everybody, Bill Graham, Jack Hanna. Tomorrow, kids, Letitia Baldridge, Dwight Yoakam, and Buck Henry. We'll see you then. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The current comedy issue of Rolling Stone calls my next guest the queen of the stand-up comics. Here now, Mike Schmidt with the inside pitch. I think we're all really getting tired of these.
Elayne's background in stand-up comedy means she'll be able to do almost all the talking. All Dave has to do is throw her the setups. But she has trouble hitting that split-fingered fastball.
That's not what I hear. Ladies and gentlemen, please, please welcome Elayne Boosler. It was just a stupid... Look at those shoulders. Those are enormous. Elayne Boosler, ladies and gentlemen. Elayne,
you doing? Yeah, please have a seat. How are you? How you been?
I'm fine. I can only stay a second. I have to get these clothes over to Nancy Reagan. She's having a dinner party tonight.
Aha. You look, you're all in black. You have some leather there.
Yes, I do.
Very chic.
I've had the best week. I was just about to get married in Paris, but the extensive physical examination proved to me that I was actually marrying the wrong man.
I
so,
see.
Yeah.
What else is new in your life?
I just stopped crying since Game 7. I
Big
took
Mets
it hard.
fan, are you?
Major Mets fan, and I know. How can you? I never felt this before. I watched them walk off the field of Game 7. I was in L.A., and it felt like breaking up. You know, I'm seeing them go. I think, this is it. I'm not going to see you Saturday. We were supposed to have dinner with the A's, honey. You know, I felt awful. I went to every Mets game against the Dodgers in L.A. Everyone knows baseball when you go to a game. One game, I'm sitting next to a guy in, like, green plaid shorts, a purple shirt, straw hat, brown shoes. Every time the ump makes a call, he yells out, "What are you, blind?" I look at the guy, I said, if he is, he dressed you tonight, honey. 'Cause,
So, between the Dodgers and the Oakland A's, what do you think?
I don't know. I think I thought Canseco could take the whole team, frankly,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't care anymore. It's people say, how can you not root for the Dodgers when you're from Brooklyn originally, and they were from Brooklyn? I don't care. Look, if a man leaves me, I don't root for him for the rest of my life, you know. These guys walked out and, you know, killed me. I was 5, but they abandoned us.
Now, is that true? At 5 years old, they left, and you were crushed by that?
I
at
watched
5
my
years old?
brother and father sit on the front stoop crying their eyes out.
Yeah.
And I said, that's it. I can't root for these guys.
Traumatic moment for everyone who lived in Brooklyn.
It was hard. Yes, we didn't have much else.
No, I mean, but in those days, and even today,
It means a lot.
you generate a really strong attachment to
Listen,
these
I'm
teams.
going on the Mets cruise this January. I want to see if these guys pull on themselves when they play shuffleboard.
Yeah.
I got to see this.
6 weeks on a boat with Mookie Wilson. I don't know.
I just want to, like, see him eating at the captain's table, eating, spitting, eating, spitting. You know, I think it'd be great to go on the cruise.
And what about the? So we're done with the World Series. You're not interested in that. What about the upcoming election?
Oh, I'm not interested in that either. You guys gotta get out there and vote. Attention, Kmart shoppers. I know it feels like pushing the crosswalk button. People think nothing really happens.
Right.
Just takes a couple of seconds. I'm amazed the Republicans chose Quayle. I mean, they chose a man. They said, oh, there's a gender gap. We have to try and appeal to women. So they choose a guy who was voted against every woman's rights issue since he got in. But they choose him why? Because he's handsome. Because he's handsome. Like every woman in America thinks like a bowling alley waitress.
Oh, I know he's a bastard, but I love him anyway.
Was that Shemp or Curly?
That
Which
was-
of
that
the
was-
Stooges was that?
That was a bowling alley waitress.
Oh, I see.
Spit on my rights again, Dan. I love it when you purse those lips.
I thought it was a little Stooge reference there.
Well, I was referring to Quayle, so you're correct. How did they decide on women's views in the White House? Are they sitting there watching old Joan Crawford films and they pick Quayle thinking women are going to go, yeah, I know he's poison, but he's in my blood?
See, I don't. It's hard for me to make this judgment, but I don't think that were I a woman, I would be particularly attracted to the guy.
No, I don't think he looks like Robert Redford. I think he looks like Pat Sajak, but they're afraid to say Wheel of Fortune around this guy again. You know. Looks are from the inside. When he debated Quayle, I swear, you saw, when Quayle debated Benson, Benson came out, and what you saw was an older man who was kind of lined, and then you saw this younger guy who was more good-looking, and within a few minutes, Quayle started to fade, and Benson started looking like Gregory Peck in To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah. He was so erudite, you know, and intelligent, and these guys drive me nuts. You can sum Bush up by who he likes to quote. He likes to quote Lincoln, and he says, you know, Lincoln said that America is the last best hope of man. 125 years later, this jerk can't even have the heart or the dignity to add, and women. You know, it doesn't occur to him. It means not. He's against sex education in the schools? Is that amazing? Why are you against sex education? Because birth is a miracle. Hey, popcorn's a miracle if you don't understand how it happens.
You know I'm not Morton Downey Jr. You know that, don't you? We got to do a commercial. Yeah, we'll be right back here with Elayne Boosler. Elayne Boosler is here. How are things in your personal life? Everything all right?
Oh, they're great. I'm living with Elvis now, and he's very happy about the grandchild coming. I'll be writing a book soon.
That's very nice.
Yeah, and I know you're not Morton Downey Jr. That's why I knew I could do intelligent material here.
Oh, it was just... we'll give my best to Elvis.
Oh, thank you. I will.
We're done here. Tomorrow night on the program, ladies and gentlemen, Gene Hackman, Julia Fordham, and Robert McCoy with medical devices. Good night, everybody. Back to the program. Elayne Boosler will be here in a couple of minutes. Stanley Jordan with the band in a couple of minutes, and also a man from somewhere south of London. South of London? Outside of London. He makes Brighton. Thank you, Will. He makes electric clothing. His name is Captain Maurice Seddon. So,
I'm looking forward to Captain Maurice Seddon and his electric clothing.
Al, quickly, can we see if anyone's answering the phones down there? Boy, if this was a telethon, we'd be doing pretty badly, wouldn't we? Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, I'm so nervous. I hope I can vote this one. Hello? Oh, damn, he's on the other line. Oh, okay. Well, that's the way it goes. Have the operator interrupt. Good idea, Will. Our first guest is an old friend of ours who has just written and directed and starred in a Cinemax motion picture entitled The Call, which premieres this Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elayne Boosler. How you doing? Hello. Nice to see you. You see these pants? Have a seat and don't make trouble. It's Elayne Boosler. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Now you know how I felt in my movie. I mean, I waited for that phone call the whole weekend in the film, and you're going through the same thing.
Is that what the film is about when you say the call?
Yeah.
You're waiting for a call.
A phone call.
From?
From a guy.
Uh-huh.
But I was a little more specific than you. I wanted to talk to someone I knew.
Yeah. You wrote it, you star in it, you directed it, and you play all the
I
parts?
made the lunches, and I knitted little caps for the crew.
That's darn nice of you.
Yeah, I thought so. It was a little mom and pop show.
But what do you do in the film?
I don't play all the parts. There are other people, and in the film, I halfway through the weekend turned into a cockroach.
You turn into a cockroach?
Yeah, because I was waiting.
Yeah.
I do. It's German comedy, I think, and it was hard to play a roach. You know, the accent is a killer.
I'm sorry, I'm still considering German comedy.
Oh,
now,
Kafka, you know, Metamorphosis.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
I'm sorry. You know, Ball State, I thought like that.
No, it's a state college.
I thought, God, I didn't even have to say it and you'd get it. But
I can't even talk and dial.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The cockroach has lines then?
You can't talk and dial. These 976 numbers are going under, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a cockroach. Yeah, it's a big roach.
And
the accent was extremely difficult.
I see.
Yeah, but I patterned it after several New York real estate agents that I know well. And,
how's your dog? Did you bring your dog this time?
no, I didn't. But, you know, I wanted to show a clip from the movie, and I know we're not allowed. So, could I... What?
Nothing.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm doing my own little show in here.
Oh. How is it?
Oh, you know.
Did anyone answer the phone up there?
Oh, yeah. Well, there are bells, yes. But okay, so now you knew we wouldn't let you show the clip.
Of course.
Right.
I know you want to see a clip.
Of course we wanted to see the clip.
It's the law. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the law.
Yeah.
So I wondered if I could act out a clip.
Act out a clip.
Would that be...
Well, it's certainly highly unheard of, but... Sure. What do you need? You need props?
Just a setup.
Okay, go ahead.
The setup is...
The setup is...
This is right when I discover that I've become a roach.
All right.
Okay, and I'll just stand up.
This is in your Cinemax special,
called
The Call.
And this is right when I've discovered that I become a roach. And
Okay.
I'll act it
Must have
out.
been a horrifying moment for you.
Oh, gosh, you know, it was
Here it
like
is.
worse than my first Tonight Show.
Elayne Boosler, discovering she, in fact, is a roach.
Here it is. Thank you.
Very nice. Nicely done.
terrific idea. I think it's a fabulous idea that she wasn't able to
Any
show a
opportunity to
clip.
show off his voice. That's all he cares
Therefore,
about.
she
I
would
used to
act
sound
out.
like that when I smoked.
All right,
Really?
we'll do a commercial and be back here with Elayne Boosler. Elayne Boosler is here. You know, I said this, Stanley, I think when you were here before. It reminds me of Wes Montgomery. A little bit, huh?
I listened to him a lot when I was very young.
Did you like him?
Yeah.
You know, he's from Indianapolis.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and he had an unusual way of playing guitar as well. We can talk about this later.
No, please.
Oh.
I think you should rename the band. I was thinking about this, because for a while you were the NBC Orchestra, then the world's most dangerous band, but see if this doesn't strike fear into the hearts of men. The world's most dangerous orchestra. Tuxedo to kill, isn't it?
That's great.
I think it's a
Kinda
good
like
name.
that. Now, tell me about your dog. Is your dog here or not
Well,
here?
gee, no, but I wanted to show a clip. Oh, wait.
Stop it.
Okay. No, he's in L.A. I
What kind
miss
of
him.
dog is he?
He's a boxer.
Yeah,
I should have
yeah.
gone to the pound and saved a life. Thank you.
You know, does he have a boxer? Does he have a clipped tail? They clip their little tails.
They clipped his tails, but I rescued him before they cut his ears off.
Oh, they also cut their ears
Oh
off?
yeah, they do.
I didn't
so
realize that.
Yeah, they do. But he has good, big, floppy.
Yeah. Why did they cut the tails off? Do you know what the purpose is of that?
You know, it's going to come out in the North trial, I think. I don't know why. But I'm the last person to try and stop it. They called me today. If there's anything you can do, I went down there. You know, I'm sorry. This is.
But I think it has something to do with the breed and what the dog was originally intended,
That's
the
right.
use for the
they
dog.
Were originally bred as short-tailed dogs,
Yeah.
and they refused to cooperate.
But I think in some dogs, it's so you can reach in and pull them out of burrows and holes and stuff. I think.
Just continue with your little show. Paul,
sorry.
what are you? This dog's 80 pounds. The hole would have to be like bigger than the car. Where's he going?
Well, I don't know. Like if he gets caught in a closet and you can reach in and yank him out with his. Well, I don't know. I wonder.
Never to date you. I mean, you're so frightening.
I think there's little chance of that happening.
Oh.
Now, hey. We'll turn it over to Mr. Big Voice if you're not careful.
Thanks.
Anyway, so how is the
The
dog?
dog's fine, and he asked about you too. He's good, you know. When I go on the road, what do you mean there's little chance of that happening? My goodness,
You and I have been friends for a long
That's
long
right.
time, since
Of
like
course.
1975.
You wouldn't want to ruin it with, you know.
13 years.
Oh, gee.
We've been close friends. We used to travel around California together.
That's right.
Yeah.
We used to complain about everything together.
So I was just suggesting that possibly the relationship as it exists today is far better than it would be if we goofed it up with something else.
I totally agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I think sex ruins everything.
Yeah, it has for me.
Yeah, well,
What little I've had.
Ball State, I don't know,
know,
Dave.
I
I don't
know.
think they lived up to
The
their...
few times I've been able to work up the courage. But anyway,
Room plenty
How
of good
is your
meals.
dog?
My dog's fine. You know, he's a boxer, and you probably don't know this, but they originally bred them with short tails so you could pull them out of holes if
I
they
know.
went into, like, these burrows.
now there's somebody in this building who can answer this question, and he's not helping
in
me.
this building?
Yeah, in
No.
the next room. as a
Maybe
matter
like
of
at one
fact.
of the universities,
Hal
perhaps.
Grooney, our director, knows the answer to this question, and he's just sitting in there not telling me because he likes to watch me squirm. But that's...
Terriers, Dave.
It's what, Hal?
For terriers. Terriers, you reach in the hole and grab the tail.
Well, why did they cut the tail of boxers then?
They don't.
Oh, I must have been dreaming.
Yeah, I think Hal must have got in a little late tonight. What is it, Hal?
Not where I live, they don't do that.
You
Yeah,
mean this
but-
was elective surgery for no reason?
Yeah, he just thought he would look better.
He went to Joan Collins' doctor. You know, it was like $5 grand. They clipped his tail.
But Hal, they have the tiny little nubby tails, right? Boxers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so they don't
Why
swipe.
do they do that?
So they don't swipe hors d'oeuvres off of coffee tables.
For the fun of it. Good, Hal. Thanks. So there is no one in this building who can answer that question.
No one.
How's your dog?
My dog's fine, actually. Boy, I feel like George and Gracie all of a sudden, don't you?
Oh, God. Is it time to go?
Is it?
Oh, no. Anything else you want to mention?
Gee,
Not me.
thanks.
I'm sorry.
I'll
no.
just be here. I mean,
Well, no, come back. You don't
Really?
have. No, No, come
You know,
back.
every time I sit here with this empty, I always feel like I've been stood up on this show. It's like, I came here and then someone's supposed to be here. I should bring a person to sit here.
Well, sure, if that would make you feel more
I'll
comfortable.
bring the dog and he can tell us.
All right, is there anything we want to
Yes.
mention? The show starts Friday.
Friday on Cinemax and Comic Relief on March 18th.
Great.
To raise money for the homeless on HBO.
Great, you look terrific.
Well, thank you so
nice to
much.
see you. Thanks for being here. It's Elayne Boosler, and we'll be right back. There's a reason. How much do you think this bologna weighs?
Weighs?
Yeah.
15 pounds?
Yeah. No, 180.
180 pounds?
180
You're
pound
kidding.
bologna. Yeah, and look at
I
the
can't
ease
believe
with which I lift it. But the
strong.
second I picked it up, that cameraman came running in off the street from nowhere.
They smell
He
it.
was down on 6th Avenue taking pictures of people in hansom cabs.
Yeah.
He knew that I had something goofy in my hands and he was going to come up here and take a picture of
Yeah.
it. And the caption tomorrow would have been, "Who's full of bologna now?" That's one of those.
All right.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
So where is he now, the photographer?
He's gone, of course, because he knows that we're done with the bologna. But seriously, we'll slice this up and mail it to you people. Oh, my. Let's catch our breath now, shall we? But can you smell it from over there?
Yeah, I'm starting to smell it now.
Yeah, it's delightful.
Pungent. It's a pungent odor.
That's right.
There it is.
I don't know what that is.
I was just catching his
We've
breath.
been getting calls like that lately. I don't know what that is. Time to change the number. Our first guest is a very funny woman who drops by whenever we have bologna. No. She drops by whenever she's in New York, and next week you can see her. Well, where can you see her? Let's see. Several places in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Elayne Boosler. Miss Boosler. Whew. Nice to see you. I'm sorry I screwed up the introduction there. I misread it, actually, but it says here you will be appearing at several places in Florida.
No, you didn't screw it up. That's perfect.
That's what it says.
That's right.
Well, that's not very specific.
That's right, because my parents are in Florida right now.
So what does that mean?
It means maybe by the time I'm finished with the show, they'll just be pulling up to the... I don't...
You don't want your parents to know you're working in Florida.
Right. In fact, the ad just says steak and act, so, you know...
Steak and act.
Steak and act.
Yeah.
Or E. Boosler and P. Rib.
Do you like working in Florida?
I don't know. I guess I see people go by and I think, 50 more years, that's me. I don't know. It's frightening. But you do. You see short, women with a lot of hair go by and you think, oh, it'll be blue and I'll be saying, there's no rolls for this table. I don't know. It's scary. My uncle, this is the truth, and it's so frightening. I don't know when this change happens to people. Not only do they take the rolls and the pats of butter, but every Tuesday at like 3 o'clock, he sits at the kitchen table and makes a bar of butter out of the pats.
That he stole it from a restaurant?
Yes.
Wow.
He constructs this bar of butter so if people come over, it doesn't look like Wolfie's catered, the lunch.
So he's stealing the butter not so much for food, but more as a craft project. Yeah, I see.
He's working on lanyards out of spaghetti now.
Yeah.
I don't like performing in front of my parents because I did it once, just once.
It's very nerve-wracking. I don't care for it either.
You performed for my mother and father?
Yes, smart. Yes. I know what you're feeling, though.
I know.
Yeah.
And, they only came once, and it was 15 years ago in New York, and I was kind of new. And here I am feeling grown up and in the show business and a professional, and like every 5 lines I deliver out of the dark, I hear, "I did not."
So she's sure.
Wow, this is,
But they must be very proud of your success.
They're just so happy that I'm not publicly nude and I don't ask for money that I think, those were the 2 goals for me. Don't be nude in public and don't ask for the money.
Does public nudity run in your family? Had trouble with an uncle or something at one point?
Long line of service people.
Yeah. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have an older brother.
Now, do you get along pretty well with them?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He lives in New York, and he's actually he's an innocent bystander, frankly. That's his...
That's what he does?
Yes.
That's what he puts on the tax forms
he's
every
an
year?
innocent bystander.
Yeah.
He uses the word alleged a lot. And, I come here, I hang out with him, and, you know, my favorite part of coming here is seeing him and taking cabs from the airport, because this is the only city in the world where you have to do the cabbie's job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, a doctor's going to take out your appendix. He doesn't say, which way do you want me to go?
Right,
You know?
right.
I mean, I get in a cab, Manhattan, you know, how do you want to go? Oh, how do I want to go? I want to go the longest and most expensive way possible. I want you to go through, Rome, so I can see the Via Veneto before we get to that. How do I want? It's like a test. If you don't know how you want to go, they're allowed to rip you off. That's the law. That's...
You just, how long ago were you doing this command performance?
Oh, the command performance.
Now, explain to me how that works, because all my life, and I think everybody has always heard of these, been aware of them, and know that there is some kind of really special import that goes with this gig. How do you, what is it? How do you get it?
I think what happens when you answer the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. You put your name down, and I don't know how they found me, but I think they look for...
What is it, first of all?
It's for the... well, you go entertain the Queen of England and her husband.
How many of these do they have? They have like once a year?
It's
or
once
twice?
a year.
Once a year.
Yeah, this was the 60th anniversary of it, and it raises money for their older actors. They don't want to take care of them, so they bring Americans over to raise money. And, you know, then we...
And it's the biggest gala night in London.
I guess so. I guess so. I went there. I've worked the Palladium a few times, and I always feel like Frank Dell in that Lenny Bruce bit. It's just a classic piece of comedy. You know, some lounge comic who wants to play the Palladium out of classrooms, you know. And, of course, what are you doing there? I always think I have a bad show, and they always bring me back, and I never want to go, and they talk me into it, and, you know, I'm standing there, and the audience is 100, and, you know, and they paid a lot of money, and I'm in pants, and right away they're angry, and so I'm standing there, and I said, what is this producer? Every year he sits down, he says, here can we get for the Royal Variety performance? Well, let's get Elayne Boosler. But she always bombs. Oh, but she ain't bombed in front of the Queen yet. Oh, jeez, you know. Oh, good, another opportunity, you know. So I do my best.
Now, who else? What other American performers were on the show?
Amazing. It was like Tina Turner and Janet Jackson. Jerry Lewis headlined the show. He closed the show. He was great. They had this tribute to Las Vegas. I do my act.
Wait a minute. A tribute to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
This is for the Queen?
Yeah. Yeah. This is my point. This is my point. I do an intelligent...
The real Queen.
Yeah, not Broadway choreographers.
Shooting craps and stuff?
Yeah. It was her 42nd wedding anniversary. Plus, it was the 60th.
Well, yeah, of course, they honeymooned in Las Vegas.
That's right.
Yeah.
They got married at that Silver Bells Chapel,
Yeah, I
I
know.
think. So I'm standing there, you know, just melting away, and nothing's happening, and they hate
Are
me.
you scared? Is this the most scared you've been performing before this show?
I love when that happens.
Yeah?
I just, you know, because it becomes like a Fellini film. It's so surreal. The one little job talking, and it's not working.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it all slows down and everything. And so I'm just standing there, and I don't die alone. I mean, I figure if I'm having a bad time, they should come with me. So, you know, I say, what's the problem? I mean, you're paying us back for the revolution, one little American comic at a time.
Oh, good. You turned on them. You turned on them. Oh, that's great.
Well, I didn't know what their problem was. I mean, they call me offensive, and they have a nude woman on page 3 of every newspaper in England.
Right.
It's called the page 3 girl. It's like, yaha, you know, and I'm saying, you know, I mean, I'm dirty and
You're talking about the London Times?
every newspaper. Rupert Murdoch bought all the papers.
Really?
Everyone is like, from the left, from the right, is she wanted? You know, why is she this way and this way, you know? And, you know, I mean...
Look, hey, Elayne, next time you see the Queen, honey, give her this. A little something for the Queen, all right? We have to do a commercial. We'll be back here with Miss Boosler. Come on back. Everybody here tonight gets a safe full of cold cuts. So anyway, you did get to meet the Queen after the big show?
My only
that's
point,
nice.
Yeah, I thought so. My only point of them being so uptight about comics doing sexual material was these naked women, and I just looked at them and I said, hey, what's the matter? Can't you take your bad news straight?
Yeah.
You know, so that was...
So, but I'm sure you did much better than you're pretending you did.
Well, the next thing the newspapers called for my death, which I thought was wonderful. I mean, to me, that's a victory.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
My goodness. What did the Queen say to you when she met you?
Well, but she said, I'm sure glad that wasn't me. No, I'm kidding. She, do you think she want to say, oh, I'm glad that wasn't me?
Now people in America will be calling for your death.
Wait till I had to say, oh, gee, I'm glad it wasn't me. So.
Anyway, with that unpleasantness behind us...
Boy, I've got to get out of clubs, don't you think?
What happened? What happened in New Orleans? You went down for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I went down to work at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was selling those salamis there.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
You know something, when you get older, you hope people say things like that to you.
What do you mean, really?
Yeah, I swear, you know, I've been with someone for so long, and you don't even know if you're, like, guys look at you anymore, because you're always, when I was younger, I'd look at guys would look at me. I go down to New Orleans alone for the first time in many years, and it's a party town, and, you know, I think, oh, I'll get all dressed up, and, you know, right, because I said party town?
No, I don't
You
know.
laughed because I'm old, and I said party town.
The image of you going to New Orleans for the first time in many years alone.
Yeah?
Like it's an annual pilgrimage, you and a group, like some kind of travel agent
down
deal.
older there once a year, and, you know, it's, no, I just...
So you're down there alone in New Orleans.
Yeah, and I took this walk, and guys were actually kind of looking at me. I thought, oh, boy, and then I see this one guy, and... I don't. You ever have that thing where you like 2 steps, you're 5 years into the fantasy already? I don't know. I have a lot of time on my. Anyway, I'm walking up to him and he's just hot. You know, he's like has an earring and sensible shoes. I figure it's covered. You know, and he leans over and I think, what's he going to say? And I didn't realize restaurants have barkers. He leans in my face. He goes, "Put a flat fried shrimp." And I thought.
But other than that, he was your type.
Oh, he was. Actually, that cemented it for me.
Let's see, where are you going? What are you going to be doing? You'll be in Florida.
But not any time where you could find me.
No, several places in Florida. All right, good. Nice to see you again. I'm glad to hear things are going well for you.
Happy anniversary.
Same to you. Thank you. Same to you, I said. It's Elayne Boosler. We'll be right back. Nice job, Yanni. We're waiting for this woman from the outpost in International Falls to call us back, although when she calls back, hopefully she'll be in Canada. Yep. Man, then the fun will begin. The next guest on tonight's Broadway Cavalcade is a very funny woman who sometimes within the next several days will be appearing at a spot near you if you happen to live in or near Fort Lauderdale and or Fort Myers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the big program, the lovely, the talented Elayne Boosler. Here she is.
I'm sick as a dog.
Well, what's the matter?
I ate in this new place in Jersey, the Blevins Cafe.
Well,
oh, I don't know what it was. I should have stayed home for Thanksgiving, I think.
Hey,
I'm kidding. It's a wonderful restaurant.
How was you were in the big Thanksgiving Day parade?
I was in the parade.
Now, how did this happen? Is this something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I called for 5 years, and they said nope. And they have to be very careful, because last year they had a Barbie. You know, they have the Barbie float, and Barbie was, oh, the kids were already there, all lined up, and Barbie was walking around with a Marlboro 100 sticking off her lip going,
where's the can, man? I can't ride a float without the toilet. Where is it?
Yeah.
Barbie.
Oh, man, that's shocking.
Really, yeah. Barbie.
So Barbie
Maybe
was
her friend
dumped?
Sassy would talk like that, but not Barbie.
And then they invited you to take her place.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, Barbie from Israel in 1990. No. Barbie from Brighton. No, I was on a float. They said Western, but I thought carousel horses, you know. It was another mule story.
Really?
Yeah, it was frightening. I took this walk, and each float was more beautiful, and I thought, oh, look at this, and seahorses and things. Where's my float? Where's my float? And I hear, hee-haw! And I said, wait, where's my float? They said, well, Miss Boosler, that... I said, no, where's my float? And this guy comes up in a buckskin thing that he shot for breakfast or something. You know, he did make this, and he said, now, my friend up there is driving on the wagon. He's from Tennessee, never been to New York. I want you to play a little grabby ass with him, will you? I said, this is the Thanksgiving Day parade, not a bachelor party. What's the matter with you?
So you're on a wagon being pulled by this donkey?
On a wagon with 12 mules that hate Jews that were kicking so hard. And I say to the woman in her little bonnet, you know, she said, go down there faster. We got to go home and plant. I said, oh, look at this. I'm holding up the planting in Tennessee. I said to her, look, why does this mule keep kicking me? I said, maybe he's under pressure. He's, you know, hasn't been in a parade, maybe in Tennessee, and there's no Jews there, I'm sure. And she said, oh, no, there's lots. I said, Jews? She said, no, parades. There's no Jews. You're right. What a coincidence.
And when you ride through there, what exactly is required of you? Do you have to visit with people, or you just wave?
Ready?
Yeah.
This is it.
Just wave like that.
But it's not just wave. I had coaching. It's wave, wave, twist, twist.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And was it overall a good experience? Did you enjoy it?
It was fun. I have such a childhood view of show business. I mean, most people want to direct. You know, I wanted to sing at Shea Stadium, which I got to do. Got to sing for the Mets. In fact, I sang so good you didn't read about it the next day. I sang it well, you know. I think people were mad. You know, people are so choosy about what they get angry at, you know, especially with sexual. Well, you know what I mean? Some people are allowed to get away with the same thing that other people can't.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think they were mad that Roseanne touched herself.
Yeah.
I think they were mad that Roseanne touched herself. I think if it was the Guess Jeans model, they go encore. You know,
Yeah,
they don't.
Sure.
Right? It's just selective. So that was my fantasy. Shea Stadium, the parade. The people are so close to you, maybe because I was on such a low float, mules, but we had conversations. What do you think about Darryl going to the Dodgers? I said, oh, we'll be okay, you know. And it's a lot of fun. You talk to the people as you go along. So there's a disc jockey that I have a feud going with. So someone yelled his name out, and I had this mule's butt in my face. They said, where is he? I said, I'm looking right at him. He's right over here. You know, so it's a lot of fun.
I don't know that I would. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure when I'm supposed to get in here.
Well, usually it's dinner and a movie, then you. So you know.
Now, when you go out and you're working various places around the country, and you get to see the college kids and the people that come to see in clubs, what do you get a sense of what's important to them? Are they concerned about the Middle East? Are they concerned about Neil Bush or any of that?
Well, I think they're concerned about everything everyone is concerned about in college, which is basically sex and drugs. You know, that's college. But so I start with that only because I read that people still aren't using any kind of safety birth control, and so I bring it up so they don't feel that it's an awkward thing. Talk about condoms all the time, which, by the way, I just finally noticed that they have an expiration date, which I never. So it's just like there's not enough pressure on dating, right? So
use them up, sure.
It's like, you grab the condoms, I'll get the cottage cheese and the yogurt. What a night, you know. It's all going.
Let's see. You're I don't know what that is. I don't understand that.
They just know we're having fun. That's all.
We'll be appearing in Fort Lauderdale and/or Fort Myers soon.
Next week?
Next week. Great. Have a good time.
Well,
thank you for coming by. Hey, look, it's Elayne Boosler, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. Our next guest is one of the best stand-up comedians working today, and recently she performed for President Clinton and his wife and family down there at the White House in Washington, D.C. And on August 12th through the 14th, she'll be appearing at Caesars in Atlantic City. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elayne Boosler. Elayne!
C-SPAN. Yes, I did. I performed for the president. Thanks for the music. And I was so nervous. It was so hard. It was the White House press correspondents' dinner. So it was Congress and the president and the White House press. And they put me at the head table. I was at the dais. So it was Clinton, Hillary, Al Gore, Tipper, and me. I felt like the SAT sample question, what does not belong at this table? He was really nice, the president. I felt kind of bad afterwards because I had to sue him because I caught him looking at my ass. And sexual harassment stuff, some of these cases. The latest woman to accuse the president said she walked into a hotel room, he instantly dropped his pants and asked her for sex. I don't believe that for a second. This president has never gotten to the point in anything that quickly, in anything. All these men in power with their sex scandals. Women in power never have sex scandals, never. Golda Meir never had a sex scandal. No male bimbo rode out of the desert. Oi, we did it right in the sand. She was a tiger. No. Margaret Thatcher, no male bimbo showed up. I must tell you, she spanked my bottom. We don't even have a word for male bimbo. Oh, okay, senator, but still. So many sex scandals. Remember a couple of years ago they were going to make John Tower Secretary of Defense. He was really qualified. They didn't give him the job because they called him a womanizer. I say this is the man you want in charge of the bomb. A guy who wants to live. Let him be the guy. The man is smoking, drinking, trying to score with women. He wants to make it to another Saturday night. We'd never have a war. Nuke him, John. I'm not nuking nobody. We got to pick up the girls. Sexual harassment's kind of a mess. It's confusing, and I tried to figure it out. I was reading a big article on sexual harassment in USA Today, because I like getting my hard news with a pie chart, and, it softens the blow. Oh, so the heinous crimes are in blue? So I'm reading this article on sexual harassment. They surveyed 1,200 men at work. None of the 1,200 men could recognize sexual harassment at work because they all said if their female bosses tried to sleep with them, they would think that would just be wonderful. And I realized, for men, this is wonderful because we just think differently. And what it comes down to is that women spend their entire lives running away from the very thing that men run towards. It's true. A woman will walk down the street at night praying that a stranger will not try and have sex with her. This is a man's fantasy. Women running away, men running towards. Look at guys tell each other about new strip clubs. Oh man, this club is hot, topless, bottomless, totally naked, table dancing. They'll dance naked on your table and the food's good. If you want, while you're eating your dinner, they'll sit right on your head. Yeah, well, I can assure you women never have this conversation. I'm gonna be trying to eat food? And a naked guy I don't even know is gonna sit. What? I get this all day at work. I don't need this after work. Really, there's restaurants all across the country named Hooters. There is no Pino's. That's because women don't want anything interfering with their food. I'm trying to eat. Get that thing away from me. Women running away, men running towards. Look how we use our cars. Young men use their cars to meet women. Follow you down the street. Sweetheart, where you going? Slow down. Woo! I think I'm in love. Want to go for a ride? You're really pretty. No? You ugly bitch. Do you know why women don't yell out of their cars to pick up guys? Because they would get in our cars. That's it.
Elayne Boosler. Nice job, Elayne. Thank you very much. Elayne Boosler, take a bow. The lovely Elayne Boosler. We'll be right back with Dave Edmonds. Pretty good. Our next guest is a very funny comedian. This woman will be appearing next month in Boston. Also, you can see her in Newport, Rhode Island. Please welcome back to the program our old friend Elayne Boosler, everybody.
Thank you so
much. Thanks. I have such great memories of being here. Dave used to let me bring my boxer Petey on the show, and I've since put him to sleep. And oh, thank you. It was, it was a very expensive year. I went to the vet every day, and I went to pick him up one day, and there was a new young girl behind the counter, and she said, $3,000. And I said, why don't you go double check? And a woman in the waiting room looked up. She says, what did you have done? I said, apparently the animal bought a car after I dropped him off. Dogs are your best relationship because you can commit totally because they don't change their mind, you know? You don't get a dog, you come home 2 years later, he's packing, where you going? Next door, bigger couches. No. Once he loves you, he loves you. You love me? I love you. Gonna love me tomorrow? Love you forever. Do I look fat? No, let's eat something. We love our dogs, but it's a big test of love when it's time to start taking those stool samples into the vet. I had to take one in. It was the day before, so I see it, I grab it. I didn't know it had to be du jour. I go to the vet, I give him the bag, he opens it up, he says, this from today? I say, it's from yesterday. He says to me, was it in the refrigerator? I said, what's the right answer? Boy, there's a diet that would work, huh? I am starved. No. On a happier note, I got to go to the All-Star game this week. It's been a whole baseball show tonight, which is great. And I love baseball, but the sponsorships are starting to take it over. I mean, you got Pat Bell, Verizon Wireless.com, Qualcomm Stadium. And the thing that's very distracting about the game is they try and sneak the commercials in on it as if they belong, and they don't. You know, the Discover Card payback playback, the Rolaids relief pitcher. You know what? Don't insult me. Don't try to fool me. We know you got to pay these guys these salaries. Sell everything, put it in our faces, and call the game. Welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful one-a-day vitamins for baseball here at Don't Squeeze the Charmin Stadium with a national car rental game time temperature of 82 degrees. America's Pastime is brought to you by Mitsubishi. Here's your National and American League starting lineup. Hernandez, Fernandez, Martinez, Ordonez, Rodriguez, Gonzalez, Lopez, Perez, Chavez. Suzuki, Sasaki, Hideki, Nomo, Shinjo, Yoshi, Ichiro, Chanho, and Schwartz. Only kidding. Tomorrow night, Chanho Park will be going against Fenway Park, Feng Shui permitting. Oh, folks, it's NASDAQ night at the stadium. Everybody over the age of 21 gets a free cyanide capsule. One change in the lineup, Agbayani will be in center, and if you're looking for a home entertainment center, remember, nobody beats the Wiz. Leading off will be Rodriguez, one of the finest power hitters in the league, according to J.D. Power & Associates, who also rates Southwest #1 for on-time service in America. He's a pretty smart hitter. He must have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. His walk up to the plate is being brought to you by Homestyle Buffet, where you can walk up to the plates as many times as you like. He grips the bat, Pine Tar by Polident. You too can enjoy corn and apples with confidence. Wash it all down with a nice cool Coors, the Silver Bullet, and let the Rockies come to you. Folks, the Rockies will be here next weekend. For tickets, let AT&T be your lifeline to 555-TIXX. Today, First Base is being brought to you by Aflac because everybody needs an annoying duck as an insurance agent. Aflac, what? Aflac, what? Aflac. Covers everything but deafness. Second Base being brought to you by Double Mint, who will donate $100 to their own company for every double hit in today's game. And the bag at third, courtesy of the Three Tenors, because opera makes you thirsty, which means it's time for the crisp, clean taste of a Bud Light. Drink it up. Restrooms located throughout the stadium. Nobody beats the Wiz. Today, right field's being brought to you by the Christian Coalition Center, the American People, and way out in left field, the Republican Party. And And both dugouts, courtesy of Dick Cheney's environmental policy, the official protected lands rapist of Major League Baseball. Here's your intel pitch. Inside, and he smacks it. Back, 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 back. Chili's baby back ribs. Grande, Late, Bed Bath & Beyond. Home run. What a shot. Good eye. El Pollo Loco. I-30. Release it from infinity. I can go on forever. I might, but I won't. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Great job. Hope
Thank
you
you.
come back. Elayne Boosler, ladies and gentlemen. My thanks also to Vince Vaughn. And, of course, the chef. We'll see you on Monday with all kind of interesting stuff. Have a great weekend. Craig Kilborn is next. Good night, everyone.
My accountant is Fred Nigro.
Thank you very much, kids. Our next guest is a very funny comedian. She'll be performing on the road all winter, so drive carefully. This weekend, you'll be able to see her in Tampa, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elayne Boosler.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy New Year. I lost so much money in the stock market. I don't understand how anything not on drugs could fall that far that fast. You know, you're joking over there. I had Enron stock. Oh, how could Enron go broke? They were friends with the president. They had so much money. They gave it to everybody. They gave the president money and the vice president and both sides of Congress. They gave my dog $5,000. Of course, he was one of their auditors. I was day trading. You know what I found out? I'm a night person. I did. I fired my stockbroker with 30 years' experience to trade my own stocks. Figured if it worked out, I'd fire my doctor and deliver my own children. I opened a Charles Schwab account, and I bought Charles Schwab stock at 60, which immediately fell to 30 and stayed there for years, and I kept it. Charles Schwab, never in my life have I stayed with a man this long waiting for something to go back up. All the technology stocks crashed. It's the 21st century. How could the tech stocks fall? And then I turned on the TV and noticed that America's new war was being fought on horseback. It really was a new kind of war. We were dropping bombs on these people and buying them dinner. Only a single woman could understand this relationship. Of course, they're still hunting for bin Laden, the head of the terrorist network, and he must be stopped because we all know how horrible network heads can be. Yeah. I read that terrorists who kill themselves get 72 virgins in heaven. You know, if they'd let their own women out of the house, maybe they'd get a date right here. I hope it wasn't 72 virgins in heaven. I hope it was really just 2 ugly hookers in hell. We also know that Jerry Falwell blamed the attacks on lesbians and feminists. Doesn't he know if women had that much power, we'd be making more than 73 cents to the dollar? Anyway, they still don't know who's responsible for the anthrax attacks. I'll tell you who's responsible. Ted Koppel, that's who's responsible. Nobody was even thinking about anthrax, and this guy comes on television. Could it happen here? I don't know. Well, chemical warfare, biological weapons. Shh, shh. Well, our reporters have uncovered a huge building filled with anthrax that no one is guarding on the corner of 15th Street and 8th Avenue. And all these guys in the Middle East are going, is that a right on 15th Street or a left on 15th Street? You know, it was the same thing with crack. Years ago, we didn't know from crack, and then Koppel comes on. It's called crack. Oh, this is where you buy it. This is how you cut it. This is how you smoke it. I'm addicted to crack now. I can't live without crack because of this man. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, like everyone, I'm sure. And, you know, I think that any coward can blow himself up. It takes a real courageous person to stay on this earth and care enough about humanity to actually try and make it better and work things out, you know? So I think that if we catch the terrorists, we shouldn't kill them. We should make them live. What could be worse for these guys? Okay, we got you. Oh, so kill me, kill you. Oh, no, you're going to live. We're going to feed you vitamins and oat bran and power bars and wheatgrass. We're going to buy you 50 more years, health food, 50 years of doing your taxes, 50 years of looking for little pieces of paper, little pieces of paper. Oh, no, kill me. Oh, no, 50 years of where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? Why do I always have to decide where? Do you think we're going to be able to park? But kill me, kill me. No, time to floss again. I don't want to floss again. I don't want to. Kill me, kill me. We're not going to kill you. Waiters, waiters, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Be safe.
Elayne, how are you? Nice job. Happy New Year. Elayne Boosler, everybody, should be on the road, so be careful. We'll be right back with Willie Nelson's Wild Lemon.